Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday, Edwin Sifuna and his team met with the Gachagwa and his team, though it was on in a burial function right in Nyeri County. There is something Edwin Sifuna said, and this is actually meant to prepare his team on the people that they might work with going forward. Sifuna, in his own statement, he said this, if I have to quote him: "We are convinced," I quote him, "there is no any other formula before God to remove Ruto other than uniting." There was the issue of having several forces, and one of the forces is that there is Linda Wananchi, which can decide to go on ballot. Then the other side, the Gachagwa side. Gachagwa comprised of Kalonzo. Then we have Matiang'i, then Gachagwa himself. That's the team. Then the Linda Wananchi, which has captured the aspiration of the youth. And the ODM people who are not comfortable with the manner in which Oburu and this team are supporting Ruto. Wako huku kwingine, nani timu kubwa. So there was the issue of how another kuwa na candidate waweka kwa ballot. Gachagwa wakuja nao ballot. Then Ruto huko. Sifuna is saying no. We just need one candidate, a serious one, and a united opposition to face off Ruto. Then Sifuna went further to talk about him flying back to Nairobi and prepare to join Senator Onyonka in the send-off service of his late mother. So he was forced to leave that event before the funeral service end. Na akasema wanatumia beskeli ambaye ipendi mvua. That means they were using a chop. Gachagwa spoke about it, and it is a warning to Edwin Sifuna about the issue of using chopper. We'll be looking to that later. But first of all, listen to the speech from one Senator Edwin Sifuna, especially when he was addressing Gachagwa directly on the issue of a united candidate.
But Mheshimiwa Rigiji, let me tell you, we are convinced that there is no other formula. Before God, there is no other formula other than a united ticket against William Ruto. So, whatever needs to be done, kama ni kusameana, waje basi tusameane tu. Lakini, haiwezekani tumpatie huyu ndugu yetu nafasi. Yeye aweze kurudi kwenye hiyo kiti, aendelee kukandamiza wananchi wetu. Niguo. Basi hiyo ndio mwisho, nimemaliza. Asante sana, Bwana Moderator. I want to make a very difficult request, because you have really given us time to be able to have this conversation. But nilikuja na baiskeli ingine haipendi mvua. Na walituambia huyo muendeshaji ya kwamba tusipotoka hapa 3:30 itakuwa ni ngumu kurudi Nairobi. Na kesho tungelala, lakini kesho tuko Kisii. Mheshimiwa, we are burying the mother of our colleague Senator Onyonka, and we really have to leave. Sio kusema ati tunataka kukosea kanisa heshima. Sisi ni wanaheshima. And I want to assure you, and you can hold me to account, because these proceedings are being streamed live. I will follow those proceedings. The next time ukutana na mimi uniulize nilisema nini kwa kanini kega, nisipopata unichape kiboko. Asante sana na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you, makofi kwake Senator.
Now, I want us to go to the Gachagwa statement in response to Edwin Sifuna and look deeper into the future of opposition politics as far as now the new realignment is emerging here. Which way forward? This is a discussion I want us to have on this point line. But before we go deep into that, I have a quick and a humble request. For those who are watching this channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Now, here is the response from Gachagwa. I will work with Sifuna and his team, and I have warned him to stop traveling by aeroplane and be like the rest of us. We do not avoid aeroplanes because we cannot afford them, but because we might get killed. He is young, and this country still needs him. Gachagwa said this in a Kikuyu dialect, but it has been translated. So two things here. At first place, Gachagwa is acknowledging and accepting that he will work with Sifuna and his team. This is to tell you that Linda Wananchi will work with the United Opposition. United Opposition, as I said in the beginning, comprised of the three principals: Kalonzo, Fred Matiang'i, Gachagwa. Then the Linda Wananchi comprised of those who did not agree to Oburu Odinga in ODM. Now ODM ilikuwa chama kubwa, where Orengo belongs. In fact, Godfrey Osotsi, the Vihiga senator, accompanied Sifuna in that journey. Where we have Babu Owino, among other leaders, Kina Caleb Amis and the rest. The Linda Wananchi. So this could be just but the beginning of Linda Wananchi working or making a decision that they have to work with the United Opposition. If this words can be realized, kama inaweza chukuliwa seriously, and then the United Opposition is formed, that Linda Wananchi can work with the United Opposition, then they form a grand coalition. They can cause havoc to one President William Ruto. If there is a prayer that Ruto is praying today, and which more used to use, is to even go further and sponsor several presidential candidates, sometimes even unknowingly. The presidential candidates are not aware who is sponsoring them. Wanaona tu watu wanakuja wanawasaidia, natumia wanabiashara kidogo, wanawapea resources so that they vie, only to split the votes and give the incumbent a through pass. The issue of rerun can be a discussion, but when you look here, not really easy. You know the difference between Ruto and Uhuru and the late Raila Amolo Odinga in the concluded 2022 election, where the difference between number 1 and number 2 was merely 230,000 votes, which handed over William Ruto 50 plus 1. Unaona hiyo tofauti ilikuwa kidogo. That is it. So, for Sifuna, in his own wisdom, he's humbling himself and now agreeing that they have to have a united ticket. On that ticket, the other issue would be that what is it that you have on the table for the ODM, where this, and you know, in the latest opinion poll that was conducted by TIFA, we were told 73% of ODM supporters are with Sifuna. Oburu Odinga remains with 24%. So ni wengi, unawapa nini? Again, how do you convince Luyas to follow Edwin Sifuna and not Musalia and Wetangula? Lazima kuwe kuna kitu unasema Sifuna maybe running mate or something like that. But above all, that's arrangement. So let us not go quicker into the division of position and all that. But for startup, there is the uniting voices among the opposition leaders. And now they are making that decision, and this is just but the beginning. Na Gachagwa ameambia huyu jamaa, tafadhali wachana na mambo ya chopa, wachana na mandege, watakumaliza. We all know how we lost leaders in this country. The chief defense Ogola tulimpoteza kwa njia gani? Chopa. Wengi hawakubali ilikuwa natural accident or death. That's why this guy is now warning Sifuna, because now Sifuna has become the face of Linda Wananchi. And therefore you can also become the target of the state.